Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. This video is another one in my series of James versus some sellout, liar, fake, phony, whatever. And I'm going to show you how my haters have nothing on me. They have to devise and conjure up a whole bunch of lies. And this is a sad case of how the father's rights groups and movements, they hate somebody like me, and we're all on the same team and have the same goals, supposedly, and they persecute me. They persecute people from within. In any case, let's take a look at this. I'm going to deal with Ray LAUTENSCHLAGER, who is in charge of Ohio Family Rights. So this is Ray right here, okay? Ray LAUTENSCHLAGER, okay? Hopefully I pronounce his name right. I got in some debates with him about 12, 15 years ago. He's trying to pass laws in Ohio. You can see on his Facebook page, he's in charge of Ohio Family Rights. And that takes you to the Ohio Family Rights page, okay? So, it's a national organization that has taken the lead in protecting the rights of all. So I'll put the links in there underneath this video on my YouTube channel. But Ray just recently bashed me and slandered me. So let me tell you real quick what he did before. So about 12 or 15 years ago, Ray was saying, oh, we're passing laws in Ohio for 50-50. And I have a video, and I'll put that in the link under YouTube also, that 50-50 laws won't work because we already have good laws. Best interest of the child, an abusive parent should not have custody, an alienating parent should not have custody. And judges ignore evidence because of their bias and bigotry, and your attorneys sell you out, and guys don't fight, and they turn into punk little bitches and don't want to fight that hard in court. Those are the problems with the system. And the heart of a judge, you can't fix a judge's prejudice. Like black people had rights in Jim Crow South. Why did they keep getting screwed in court? Because of prejudices in the court system by the eyes of the law, which were people, juries and judges and prosecutors and lawyers, okay? You need to fix the heart of people. So fixing the court system has to do with voting judges out and embarrassing them and exposing them, or changing the entire culture. The culture has been changed to be... Women used to get custody in the men used to get custody in the early 1900s. Radical feminism took over, and now we have what we have today. And pussy bitch men don't fight and try and change or unbrainwash these judges or change their hearts. So we continue to have this. But Ray was saying, oh, all we got to do is change the laws to 50-50 and everything will be fine. I said, dude, what do women use to try and get custody usually? Why don't you think about it right now? You watching me right now. What do women mostly use as a weapon to try and get custody? It's not that they talk about being the primary caretaker and provider, but they usually use this. What? False allegations, domestic violence, and child abuse. And any 50-50 law is obviously going to have an exception. Like, we're not going to automatically give 50-50 to an abusive, psychotic child abuser, molester, or DV perp. So there'll always be an exception. So if women are lying right now, when they already have the advantage of bias in court, how much more are they going to lie when 50-50 laws are in place, and their only way of getting control is to accuse the father of domestic violence? Now, here's what Ray said. In family court, you have preponderance of evidence, and then in criminal court, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the evidence. Preponderance of evidence is really low. It's more likely than not. I believe you a little more than him. Some call it the 51-49 burden. In the middle is clear, cogent, and convincing evidence. So Ray had this stupid, dumbass idea. First of all, I told Ray, you'll never get your 50-50 laws passed. And he still hasn't. And he's not out here helping people like he used to. And he kind of fell off the face of the earth. And so I'm right. Here I am still out here fighting people. And he's out here slandering me, even though we're supposed to be on the same team. But in the middle is clear, cogent, and convincing evidence. What does that mean? I don't know. It's just in the middle. So Ray said, you got to prove domestic violence and abuse by clear, cogent, and convincing evidence. Well, the problem is all a judge has to do is say, I declare by clear, cogent, and convincing evidence that the father's domestically violent. And there's nothing stopping a judge from doing that. So the judge's corrupt heart can make a corrupt ruling based upon the stupid-ass law that the dumbass, airheaded, moronic Ray LAUTENSCHLAGER has been proposing and never got passed yet. And while he's twiddling his thumb, now, he also got mad at me because he's like, I've been working on this for so long. It's going to pass. I know it. So his ego was caught up in it. This is my baby, and I'm going to fight for it because my ego is involved. I can't check myself and realize nobody has ever gotten any good laws really passed. And I have a few videos on 50-50 laws. And the 50-50 laws that passed, Florida had 50-50 law last year. There's still guys royally getting screwed. Why? Because women's still going to court and lying. So anyway, that's a little background about Ray and how we got here. And I thought he'd forgotten about me. And somebody had told me he was still helping people privately. So I've referred people his way because even though he's stupid and an idiot when debating me, guys still need help over there. So I've given them his contact information. And then somebody told me he doesn't really help. So let's go to his slander of me real quick and show you what an imbecile this guy is. And he's supposedly a father's rights leader. So Ray here said, so a follower, see, and you can see this is Ray, and we know it's Ray Lautenschlager because it says Ohio Father's Rights, the logo right there. The logo I just showed you from this page over here. It's the same logo. So just so you know that I'm not just making it up. And it's, so some guy just randomly sent me something and he liked my videos and he's posting somewhere and Ray blocks the post. It says, that James guy you have a post pending on is a scam artist out of Washington. He won his case by filing motion after motion. He took his daughter without permission out of state. What he sells are boilerplate motions that are not state specific. And then this guy says, what are you doing? I don't see you doing anything, which is right, because he's sitting here doing a whole bunch of nothing except just getting his rocks off by posing with people who are important in the legislature, and he thinks he's doing some stuff. So this is actually the delusion and the problem that happens in the fake father's rights movement. Guys who are fighting this stuff, they start going cuckoo. I've dealt with other people who one guy is waiting for the aliens to come get us, who was leading Dads Against Discrimination. I know another guy who was fighting with the other parent in Washington and Dads Against Discrimination to fight against child support laws, and he ended up committing suicide. So this stuff will drive you nuts. So maybe Ray is nuts now. But let's pick apart what he just said about me. Number one, he said that I'm a scam artist. If I'm a scam artist, what am I scamming people with? If I'm a scam artist, I'm gonna charge a whole lot more money for my services when Judge Anthony is charging $750 an hour and attorneys are generally $400 an hour. I'm like 1/5 of their costs. And then if I'm scamming, how come I'm risking losing people and turning? If I'm just a scam artist, I'm gonna have a fake phony smile up here and I'm always gonna talk nice and get popular. But I tell people the raw hard truth about you got to grow some balls to win or give yourself a chance. And if you don't, you might as well quit on your kids. That's a harsh reality. And it risks me losing followers. But I don't give a crap because I want to deal with people who are honest and real, really want to fight. I don't want to deal with the punk ass bitch made pussies who are the typical feminized man of today. And so people either love or hate me. Now, if Ray doesn't like me, he should say something like that, like James is harsh or he's a jerk or he's insensitive. Don't say something like I'm a scam artist, but check this out. So look at it again. This psychotic weirdo says, I won my case by filing motion after motion. How did you know that, Ray? How did I file motion after motion? My case is a sealed file. How did you see my file? He's just making up stuff. My case is sealed. And there's about 40 documents in my file in my initial custody battle. I'm filing motion after motion, and he's saying I'm abusing the system against the mother. Is that what he's saying? How does he even know that? The average ugly uncontested divorce case or custody battle has like 250 documents in the file. I have like 40. So he lies about the nature of my case. And then he says I took my daughter without permission out of state. So this dude just makes up a total lie. I don't know where the hell he got this from. He says, I took my daughter without permission out of state. This guy is a fruity little gay boy drama queen. How does he have the audacity to make something up like that? I never took my daughter out of state until after a couple years that I had custody of her. I've lived in the greater Seattle area since I was in 3rd grade. In our custody battle, we were first in restraining order court. I fought off that. We went to family court immediately after my daughter was born. What the hell is this dude talking about? If you're going to slander me, at least come up with something truthful about me. And then he says I sell boilerplate motions. They're not state specific. I don't advertise them as state specific. But he's lying because he hasn't looked at some of them. Some of them apply some parts of my paperwork apply to every single state, but there is some Washington arguments in there. All people got to do is delete that and substitute theirs. So he's being specious and lying like a little fruity little gay boy bitch and a drama queen. And this is what's wrong with the fathers' rights movement. People slandering and hating on other guys on the same